All right, Kara, time now for a bit of pets.
Eye health is not only a big deal for people, but also for our beloved pets. Dr. Andrea Dennis at the Bloomfield Animal Hospital is here now to talk about what we should be looking for as we look into our little furry friend's eyes.
Absolutely.
Not even kidding. I was sitting on the bed the other night looking into my cat's eyes, and I was wondering, can you see clearly? I swear to God. I swear to God I was thinking about this.
Was that because it was the eyes look cloudy?
No. They just look healthy, but I'm like, people have clear eyes and need glasses. I'm sure cats need glasses, too.
They do as they get a little bit older, but they sort of learn to compensate, which is nice.
They do learn to compensate. Okay, that makes me happy.
Yes, so do not worry with that. And we're going to talk about cataracts a little bit at the end, and not all cloudiness is cataracts, so I want to make that point.
Now, when you say cataracts, are you making some kind of a pun there? Some kind of a joke?
No, that's your job. All right.
So let's talk about normal eyes. How do we know if they're normal?
Well, you want to look at not just the eye, the globes. You want to look at the eyelids and look at that gorgeous lash.
Look at those
see
eyes.
how those eyes sparkle and they're shiny? And you want to compare the left eye to the right eye. You want to make sure that the pupil, which is that black dot, yes, exactly. Kara's winking. And so you want to make sure that everything looks equal on both sides. And just take a look at the eyes, because I love the fact that you said that, Scott, because a lot of times people are a little queasy about eyes and they don't really pay attention to them.
My cat's eyes are so clear.
Yes,
and
see, that's good. That is really good. So that's the important thing, is just to look at them every day. Some dogs and cats, their eyes weep a little bit.
Like we have some cat eyes where they might be a little bit
that one. Okay, this is how we tell whether our cats and dogs are painful or not. Squinting one eye.
Yeah,
now
you know there's a problem.
That's right. That's more obvious.
And on the cat's left eye, which looks right on the screen, there's that inner eyelid. That also is up further than it should be. Now that's something you probably couldn't pick up, but that's something where you say, I need to call the veterinarian, because anytime there's an eye issue and people call us, we consider that an emergency.
Okay.
You need to go ahead and call your veterinarian about that. We fit them in.
Why is it so
urgent? Well, because sometimes they can be ulcerated, and we actually will have a picture of what an ulcer looks like in a bit, because you can lose your eye.
Yeah.
And that's what's you know, you just don't want to get into that situation. So some people don't realize when they're keeping one eye closed that that's a sign that something's going on.
What about this dog picture we're going to take a look at right now?
Now, see, keeping both eyes, that's not being cute or funny. That dog is very, very painful.
Right.
And he has something called conjunctivitis, which you will
like
know
pink eye, what kids have.
Yeah. And there's different organisms that cause pink eye.
All treatable, though, right, Don?
Yes, they're all treatable.
Is it the same way we do for our kids, little drops and that kind of thing?
Sometimes we use ointment in eyes for dogs because it stays in the eye longer, so you don't have to treat as often. Okay. So whereas if you put an eye ointment in our eyes, you just get goopy and it gets blurry. So
now my cats actually, I think, had this next. It's called draining eyes.
Yeah, that is. Well, the draining eyes is. Sometimes you'll see clearness, sometimes you'll see it yellow, and sometimes even green.
Right.
That's an abnormal sign, and also that kitten's eye is smaller than the good eye. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So that's usually the most common upper respiratory infection sign that we see in kittens. Also very treatable, but it needs not. You don't want to just wipe that away. You want to seek veterinary attention for that. Everything here that we're talking about today, you really need to see your veterinarian for.
A certain kind of stain we need to watch out for?
Well, we were talking about, why is it important to go see your veterinarian? Because we use, one of the tests that we use is something called fluorescein stain. It's a dye, and then we use an ultraviolet light. And you see how it's green on the cornea? The cornea should not have that green spot after you do this test. That's a complete ulcer of most of that eye. Ulcers are so painful, and you can definitely lose an eye from that. So we put this kitty on antibiotics, did very well after about 10 days.
Okay, that's
so that's really important that we want to make sure that, again, you can't do that at home. It needs to be done in the hospital.
Cherry eye on a dog?
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, cherry.
Oh, actually, I actually have. Now that I've seen it, I've never heard of it, but I've seen this.
Now, cats get this as well, okay? And this is actually the gland of the eye, the third eyelid. I don't know if you realize there was actually 3 eyelids that cats and dogs have. This is that inner eyelid. That's just the third eyelid. And this is a gland that is prolapsed. It's in the wrong position. And again, veterinary attention will make sure we do a surgical procedure and we put that right back in in place.
So pets can get cataracts just like we do?
Absolutely, they can. And sometimes it's earlier than others. Now, on this dog's, it's actually his left eye, which is on our right side. See how cloudy that looks?
Yeah.
That dog definitely has a cataract. Now, a cataract is the lens becomes so thick, you can't see, they can't see through it.
And that can be corrected?
Well, usually that's surgery. Surgery is required.
Okay.
And there are, I don't perform the surgery. We now have veterinary ophthalmologists that are specialized in this, and it's just like people, you can take the bad lens out and you can put a fake one or another real lens in there, and they tend to see very well.
Can we do teeth next time?
Absolutely, we're going to do
teeth is another big thing with my cats, and I'm not sure if they're in pain or if they're eating, but I'd love for you to address that issue.
We're definitely going to work on teeth. We have Pet Week coming up in May, so we're going to do all that.
All right, as a reminder, Dr. Dennis is the owner of Bloomfield Animal Hospital and on Old Windsor Road in Bloomfield. She's also just a nice person and is dancing tomorrow on the Chris Radio Dance-a-thon.
Yes. And after that, you can listen to her on Saturday afternoons from 2 to 3. She's taking your listener questions during Pet Talk on WTIC 1080, so tune in for that if you can. We got a great story with her and Rebecca Lobo's dog coming up.
Please stink tomorrow night. I need you to be worse than me.
No.